Back on the show is Randa Markos, who's got a big fight coming up here against Carla Esparza at UFC Fight Night 105 on February 19th. Randa, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Awesome. Glad you could join me here on the program yet again. And right off the bat, I'm sure you're happy to be fighting in Canada again at UFC Fight Night 105. Like I mentioned off the top there, Bertie, a little bit disappointed that you weren't on the UFC 206 card in Toronto. That seemed like a slam dunk.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I wish I was on that card, but everything happens for a reason. I feel that this is a good card, and I'm really glad to be fighting in Canada again. And to have this fight with Carla Esparza in Canada, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I know this is a fight you've wanted for a while, and we'll talk about the matchup in a second, but is this your first time actually going to Halifax?
No, I've been to Halifax right after The Ultimate Fighter. They had me as a guest in Halifax.
Oh, cool.
And
okay.
I met some awesome people there. I did a seminar there at one of the gyms there, all girl seminar. I've never seen so many girls in one gym. It was awesome. Got a lot of nice people, met a lot of nice people over there, and I'm excited to go back.
Excellent. Yeah, and that's great that you have the opportunity to go back here. Now, take me through this timeline here. So you find out you're not on UFC 206, obviously very disappointed. But on the plus side, I'm sure you get that phone call and you find out you're fighting Carla Esparza. How happy were you? Because you guys have a lot of history.
Yeah, fighting her right now, I kind of hesitated a bit just because I'm coming off a loss, and I thought, you know what, this is a really good fight for me. You know, Sean Shelby said he thinks this is a great matchup. I think this is a great matchup. It couldn't have come at a better time fighting in Halifax and having this fight. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about Carla as well too, and just speaking as someone who watches the sport kind of from my own angle, is a lot of people think that Carla sort of lost a step. When she lost the title to Joanna Jędrzejczyk, she seemed very cautious in her last fight against Juliana Lima. Do you feel like you're catching her at a good time?
Yeah, I think she's going to come back a little different than before. I think she went back to the drawing board after her fight with Joanna and, work on a few things and come back a little bit stronger, but I'm prepared for it.
Excellent. And she's also only fought twice since the beginning of 2015. She had the fight with Joanna and then she had the fight against Juliana Lima. You've been a lot more active than she is. Do you feel like that's going to play a factor in this fight?
Yeah, I definitely think that's a factor. Not fighting for a while, definitely you get rusty and stuff. I'm not going to take her lightly, obviously, but that definitely does affect your mindset and everything. Especially coming off she's been undefeated for a while, and then coming off such a devastating loss like that. I think I don't know. You don't know how she's going to come out.
And you are undefeated in Canada. I don't know if you're aware of this, but were you happy just be on another Canadian card? Because that's where you seem to get all your wins.
Yeah, I never really looked at it that way, but yeah, you're right. And this is a great great fight to have in Canada, and to have a win in front of all my fans here. And I know everyone's looking forward to this fight and has been looking forward to it since The Ultimate Fighter. And it's really awesome that I get to have it in front of my fans.
You mentioned it there. You're coming off the loss to Courtney Casey. If anyone sort of knows you, that definitely wasn't you in that fight. I know a lot of the issues stemmed from your weight cut in that fight. I understand you're working with a new nutritionist right now. How's that going?
Everything's going really well. I'm taking everything really serious about my weight. Before in the past, I didn't have to. The weight would just come off whenever I wanted it to. It's been a lot different the last few cuts, but yeah, we started really, really early, and it's coming along, and I'm really excited. I want to be around my weight and not have to, suffer before the weight cut, and perform better. I don't want anything to affect my performance.
Excellent. What is one of the favorite meals that you can eat on the diet? Because I know you have to eat kind of strict, but I'm sure when you work with a nutritionist, they make some meals that actually taste pretty good.
I don't know.
Or is it all bad? I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I like fatty foods and stuff, but I don't mind vegetables. But honestly, like tabbouleh is awesome. My mom makes tabbouleh, and I love having that. That stuff is okay to eat, so I eat a lot of that, and just chicken and all that stuff. It's not my first choice, but it's good and it's healthy and it's working.
Excellent. Okay, well now on the flip side, so post-fight in your locker room, what are you going to have as your first cheat meal? Have you figured that out yet?
Poutine.
Oh,
Definitely a
nice. Okay.
poutine.
How Canadian of you. Nice.
Oh, it's the best thing in the world. And if you haven't tried it, you have to try it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Especially if you're ever in Montreal, they do poutine the best, I think. So if you're ever out
Yeah,
there,
definitely.
definitely recommend that for my audience. Along with getting a new nutritionist, I know you've also kind of switched up camps. You're not a Michigan top team anymore. You've kind of customized your camp. You're working with a bunch of different gyms. For my audience who isn't familiar, where are you training right now, and who are some of the people you're working with?
I'm at Garage Gym for my conditioning, and that's all the way out in Amherstburg, about a 45-minute drive. And then I head over to Michigan, and I do my boxing at Empire Boxing with Coach Glove. And then I come back to Windsor and go to a local wrestling club that I actually started out with when I was in high school. And it's been awesome working with them. And then I do my jiu-jitsu with the same coaches as before. When I first started, Phil and Toon, we kind of developed a little gym in one of my coach's basement, and we just train out there. So I'm kind of all over the place, but I'm getting what I need from everywhere I'm going. So hopefully this is going to work out for me.
Yeah, and I think it's nice too because you're really identifying the areas that you want to work on, and you're sort of customized. Like if you go to a big camp, you can't really do that, but here, you're kind of picking and choosing where you want to go. So I think it's definitely a good strategy for you, and you must feel good that you're kind of working on those areas you feel that you need to work on.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I really want to focus on because that's where I feel that that's a little weak when I go to a full camp at a MMA gym. You're not specializing in wrestling, you're not specializing in boxing. It's kind of like it's MMA wrestling, it's MMA boxing. Whereas now I'm kind of breaking it down to just strict boxing, and then working in some takedowns with the boxing, and then just strict wrestling, like learning from the bottom. And then as I pick it up, I'm adding some striking in there with my wrestling. I feel like I'm really getting what I need.
Excellent. And what about training partners? Is there anyone in particular that you're working with a lot, like, as far as, an extra body or anything?
There's a bunch of few people. Mike Kidd from Michigan, he's really good. He's a amateur fighter who's coming up on undefeated. He's been helping me out a lot. Some wrestling partners in Vortex Wrestling that came back while they're in university, came back to just help out. They're helping me out a lot. I got quite a few training partners that are specializing in different areas and are really helping me.
Excellent. Well, that's good to hear. One of the things I know you kind of talking about on Twitter, last week I saw there is this whole Donald Trump, ban on Muslims and everything. What have you sort of heard as far as, you being able to travel? I know you've gone back and forth to Detroit, so it seems like everything's A-okay, and everything we're seeing in the news from a Canadian's perspective seems like we're going to be okay, even if you were born in, one of those banned countries. What's sort of the latest of what you've heard?
I heard that if you haven't been back to your country in 20 years or something, then your citizenship kind of expires.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if that's true. But I honestly first heard of it on Twitter. I came home and everyone's asking me, I'm like, whoa, I didn't know this was even happening because I just came from Michigan and I didn't have a problem. And I actually just went today and came back and nobody said anything to me. I don't know if them knowing me very well from crossing constantly had anything to do with it, but it looks like it hasn't happened. Nothing has happened yet, but I know in other places it has, and I think it's going to blow over. I mean, it doesn't make sense to ban everybody from going across the border. I mean, when they've been doing it all along. So hopefully it does blow over and everything goes back to normal.
Yeah, and you've been in Canada since, age 3, I think. So it's not even anything recent. So, yeah, that's kind of...
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously, it's good, too, that this fight's in Halifax. So even if that was an issue, it shouldn't affect you at all because you wouldn't have to go through the States to get to Halifax.
Yeah, definitely. It's good that I'm fighting in Canada and I don't have to worry about that. And hopefully it'll be cleared up if I ever have to fight in the States next time.
What's your prediction for this fight? February 19th. How do you see this fight ending?
Well, I definitely know she's going to try to take me down. She likes to go for takedowns 5, 6 in a row right away, right off the bat. I'm thinking she's got the same game plan as before, but she's probably changed a few things. And I'm obviously trying to keep the fight standing. Hopefully, she can't handle the punches and I walk out with a TKO or something. That's what I'm hoping for, but we'll see how it goes.
And where do you feel like a win puts you? Because, Carla's a former champion. She won the show. I mean, it would look really good on your resume to get a win over a former champion.
Yeah, I definitely think this is going to get me in a really good position. I think she's ranked third right now or something like that. And she's a previous Invicta champ and UFC champ. So this is a great opportunity for me to get myself up on the rankings again.
Excellent. Before I let you go here, I asked all the fighters this. I'm going to ask you this as well. Are you a Netflix watcher? And if you are, what are you watching right now?
Yes, I am. Right now, I'm addicted to House.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you guys ever watched that.
Yeah,
House
of course,
is,
yeah.
I can't stop watching it. It's like, and I work in a pharmacy. I'm working a couple days a week back at the pharmacy, and I'm just sitting there diagnosing people. It's pretty funny. It's addicting.
Excellent. No, that's good. It's a great show. It used to be on Fox, I think. It's got that British actor, but he doesn't have a British accent in the show, right? It's the same.
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. You mentioned the pharmacy there, so you're back there just a couple days a week. How's that been? Going back to, because I know you were doing MMA full time, and I guess now you're just kind of doing the pharmacy thing part time.
Yeah, I'm just going there a couple days a week, two days a week. They called me up. They said they needed some help, and I was like, all right, well, I can fit it in my schedule. My days that are not crazy in the mornings, I just work there a couple hours, and it's nice to get away. It's nice to go back to getting away from training and everything, and just get my mind completely off and focusing on other things. And then you leave there and start focusing on that again. It kind of drives you insane that I find like just constantly training and constantly focusing on fighting. But I'm glad that it's only a couple days a week, and I'm not obsessing over, oh my God, I don't have enough time. So.
And how nice is it too that they sort of welcomed you back? I know you left them on good terms, and they always said you'd have a spot back there. But for some fighters, they leave their job, they're not allowed back. But at least it sounds like on their end, they would be glad to have you, even if it was a full-time thing at some point.
Yeah, Dieter Pharmacy has been awesome. They welcomed me. They gave me all the time I ever wanted off while I was there, and they're huge fans now. It's crazy. I went there, and none of them knew anything about fighting. A bunch of women, and now all those women are huge fans. It's pretty funny.
Excellent. Well, I certainly appreciate you taking the time here tonight, Randa. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Where can people find you on social media? And if you got any thank yous, shout outs, sponsors, anything like that, the floor is yours.
You can find me on Facebook, Randa Markos, Instagram, Randa Markos, and Twitter, Randa MMA. And I'd like to thank Garage Gym for sponsoring me and training me hard for this fight, and Vortex Wrestling. And that's it. Thank you.